Welcome to Yury Experience, and today I want to talk to you about expectations to other people. If you have ever participated in social connections, if you have any friends or relatives or people that you know that normally during our social interactions we give something. We give money, we give emotions, we give value, we give information, we give something else, attention, maybe, love. We give something to other people, we provide it so other people can use it for their own good, however this good is defined. But if we are giving something, then we at least hope that we will also get something. If we give money, we hope we get something instead. Some people expect more than others, but anyway. Other people give love, so they hope to get that love back. And it is really not nice when you don't get that love back. Friendzone stories and stuff like that. And if your hopes are very, very high, then at some point you start to expect that other person will provide you, must provide you something. You expect that person to provide you something, to give you something because of some different reasons. Some of them are connected to what you gave them. Maybe you give love, you expect love, for example. But others are more of the kind of social expectation, but also personal expectations which are applied to this current situation. I will give some examples in a moment. But what I want to suggest, and that's what this video is about, don't expect from other people something that you are not ready to provide yourself. And this sentence is a little bit broader than you think, at least in my personal opinion. So let me explain it to you. This sentence is kind of a rule that I do try to apply to my life, to my interactions with other people, and it is not really about barter, about giving you something of some quantity and getting something of the same quantity back. I give you $1, you give me $1. No, I'm talking more about value, about expecting some kind of value when you are not ready to provide same amount of value. Value is defined really broadly. It can be money. So you expect some person to provide you some amount of money, but you are not ready to provide some work in order to get that money. For example, how jobs work. You do some work, you get some money. Expectations work both ways, basically. Your employer expects you to work, and you expect employer to pay you money. And if both people are satisfied, both people are working successfully. The connection works, social interaction works. On the other hand, we can talk about more broad terms. For example, in love language, they are talking, so there are like a lot of opinions about love languages and stuff like that. And different people expect different things, or they understand under love different things. Some people care about other people, some people do something for other people, some people buy something for other people touch other people or have quality time. Every person has slightly different opinion about what is love, how love is work. And what we hope is when we provide something that is of value to us, that we will get something like that, a similar way, getting us back. So we expect other person to give us what we gave them. And basically how this love thing sometimes works, one person provides something to other person and the other person provides something back. And a lot of people expect other person to give same value that that person provided. So for example, I give my partner attention and that partner gives me gifts, some material gifts, and I maybe don't really understand that value, which is why I wouldn't consider it love, which is one of the reasons why a lot of couples have trouble talking to each other and there's trouble in communications. Because basically language or expectations are different. One person expects attention but gets gifts, and other person expects gifts but gets attention. Yeah, that's how it works. So now when we more or less defined what is giving, what is getting, what is expectations, let's go to this topic of don't expect to get something what you cannot provide. Don't expect to get some kind of value that you are not able to provide yourself. Don't expect to get money from your employer if you are not ready to put in work. Don't expect to get some kind of love, some specific kind of love from your partner if you are not ready to explain that partner how your love works and provide that partner something of value similar to what that partner need provide to you. I hope that's understandable. And that you can apply to each and every interaction with each and every person. And also when you think you can expect it, I would also be careful about it. For example, when you are going to a doctor, you expect doctor to be good, to provide you value in terms of medical attention, medical care, and everything that is connected to it. But I wouldn't go as far as demanded, although you technically should, but depending on what is your interaction with doctor, that directly influence what kind of care will you get. It shall be more objective, but it is subjective because doctors are also human beings. Which is why expect them to be perfect when you are not perfect to them, when you don't provide enough knowledge about yourself, about your illness, about your situation, when you lie to them about your situation. How do you expect to get from them proper medical care when you are not ready to put in work? Because work comes from both sides. Doctor cannot help you if you are not talking about what is your problem, or when you are lying about some of the things that you are doing in your life, but you lie, no, I don't do, I do not smoke, and you just stink from this whole tobacco stuff. So yeah, be ready to provide some value to the doctor so doctor can provide value to you. And that applies for each and every situation, in my personal opinion. Let's add more of my personal opinion. There is a case, in my personal opinion, there is a case where you can expect something from other person, where you can kind of demand it from other person. When you discussed it, when you had proper communication, the other person clearly understood what you are expecting and that person agreed to provide you that. Then I wash my hands. That's a phrase in Russian, so like I can't do anything about that. Yes, then you can kind of, in my personal opinion, expect that person to provide you some kind of value because you discussed it properly, clearly. You made that person understand your position and that person agreed with that. You discussed, I don't know, you discussed with your parents, please buy me, please make me a good present, please buy me a car. And your parents agreed. Then you can kind of expect them to do that. Another example, you are talking with your employer, please give me a better position. And because A, B, C. And the employer says, yes, I will do it. Then you kind of can expect that person to do it. Will that person or whatever do it? Let's be honest, we don't live in a perfect world, which is why although sometimes you discuss stuff, you make it completely clear and everything, but still it doesn't work like that. That is basically the reason why I prefer to have everything on paper. And yeah, because I don't believe systems and people. Everything shall be on paper with some, then it's good. So yeah, if you communicate with people, if you talk to people, if you provide clear information and your clear expectations and that person agreed to your expectations, you can expect that person to do something to provide you some value. But prior to doing that, prior to this communication, all of your expectations that are created are in your head. And there is a probability, and that probability is not low, that the other person doesn't really know what you're expecting, and that person will not fulfill your expectations because you didn't tell it. That person doesn't know it. You know it. That person doesn't, because not everybody can read minds. I'm sorry about that. And one of the most important points, which was basically a reason for creating this video, when you're expecting something, when you decided to expect something prior to communication or after that, doesn't matter. don't do it aggressively. If you are shouting, you promised me that, do it right now. When you are hitting the walls or tables or hitting the person or whatnot, when you are doing it aggressively, that person will have even less motivation to provide you something in a good quality. If you are demanding something from your partner, from the person you love, if you are shouting at that person that give me more love, or like buy me a new something, how in the world shall that person be in the state of mind like feel I'm loved, so I shall provide it, although that person is completely aggressive towards me? Why? How in the world shall it work? And same basically everywhere. If you're going and meeting with a friend, don't be aggressive in terms of you expect that person to do something, I don't know, buy you a beer because you bought that person beer last week. Communicate it first, and then maybe you are allowed to be aggressive, but still I wouldn't do it, because being aggressive doesn't solve anything. It doesn't prove your point, it is not constructive, it is more destructive for your connection and for the conversation overall. Being aggressive shows that you cannot communicate your feelings and your state of mind functionally. And that is it's a really sad thing, and that thing will prevent you from a lot of opportunities. So please think twice before you will be aggressive with, I don't know, with some person who is working in a cafe and who brought you a tea, or with a doctor, or with a person, I don't know, with your partner, with your friend, with your relatives. Be careful with what emotions do you throw at them, especially if these emotions are negative, because sometimes these people didn't deserve it. You think that they deserved it, but they didn't. Quick summary for today's video. First, expectations. All of us have them. Please be conscious of your expectations and don't expect other people something to provide you some value that you are not able to provide to them, or some similar value, or value which is of the same importance for them. Second, communicate. Communication is one of the most important things that there is in the freaking world, in my personal opinion, which is why that can help you to make your expectations more clear, and that will help you to fulfill your expectations, or that will help other people to fulfill your expectations. And the last thing, please don't be aggressive, especially in expectations, because then people think that you are arrogant asshole, and you don't want to be arrogant asshole. That's pretty much it for today, and yeah, good luck, don't be an arrogant asshole. I think you know where's the like button. I think you also know where the comment section. If you have any questions or topic suggestions, you can write them in the comments below. Except for that, if you want to watch more videos about social topics, about mind development, about self-development overall, and about the development of the channel, subscribe to the channel. And except for that, I see you on Monday.